Enduring Love by Ian McEwan. Read by David Threlfall. Chapter 1. The beginning is simple to mark. We were in sunlight under a turkey oak, partly protected from a strong gusty wind. I was kneeling on the grass with a corkscrew in my hand, and Clarissa was passing me the bottle, a 1987 Domagasac. This was the moment. This was the pinprick on the time map. I was stretching out my hand, and as the cool neck and the black foil touched my palm, we heard a man's shout. We turned to look across the field and saw the danger. Next thing, I was running towards it. The transformation was absolute. I don't recall dropping the corkscrew or getting to my feet, or making a decision, or hearing the caution Clarissa called after me. What idiocy to be racing into this story in its labyrinths, sprinting away from our happiness among the fresh spring grasses by the oak. There was the shout again, and a child's cry, enfeebled by the wind that roared in the tall trees along the hedgerows. I ran faster, and there, suddenly, from different points around the field, 4 other men were converging on the scene, running like me. I see us from 300 feet up, through the eyes of the buzzard we had watched earlier, soaring, circling, and dipping in the tumult of currents. 5 men running silently towards the centre of a 100-acre field. I approached from the southeast, with the wind at my back. About 200 yards to my left, 2 men ran side by side. They were farm labourers who had been repairing the fence along the field's southern edge where it skirts the road. The same distance beyond them was the motorist, John Logan, whose car was banked on the grass verge with its door, or doors, wide open. Knowing what I know now, it's odd to evoke the figure of Jed Parry directly ahead of me, emerging from a line of beeches on the far side of the field, a quarter of a mile away, running into the wind. To the buzzard, Parry and I were tiny forms, our white shirts brilliant against the green, rushing towards each other like lovers, innocent of the grief this entanglement would bring. The encounter that would unhinge us was minutes away, its enormity disguised from us not only by the barrier of time, but by the colossus in the centre of the field that drew us in with the power of a terrible ratio that set fabulous magnitude against the puny human distress at its base. What was Clarissa doing? She said she walked quickly towards the centre of the field. I don't know how she resisted the urge to run. By the time it happened, the event I am about to describe, the fall, she had almost caught us up and was well placed as an observer, unencumbered by participation, by the ropes and the shouting, and by our fatal lack of cooperation. What I describe is shaped by what Clarissa saw too, by what we told each other in the time of obsessive re-examination that followed. The aftermath, an appropriate term for what happened in a field waiting for its early summer mowing. The aftermath, the second crop, the growth promoted by that first cut in May. I'm holding back, delaying the information. I'm lingering in the prior moment because it was a time when other outcomes were still possible. The convergence of 6 figures in a flat green space has a comforting geometry from the buzzard perspective, the knowable, limited plane of the snooker table. The initial conditions, the force and the direction of the force, define all the consequent pathways, all the angles of collision and return, and the glow of the overhead light bathes the field, the bays, and all its moving bodies in reassuring clarity. I think that while we were still converging, before we made contact, we were in a state of mathematical grace. I linger on our dispositions, the relative distances and the compass point, because, as far as these occurrences were concerned, this was the last time I understood anything clearly at all. What were we running towards? I don't think any of us would ever know fully.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?